Welcome. So this is the beginning sequence that we'll do at the start of every hamstring sequence in our series. Now you'll see me go through it slow in this video, and I do that intentionally because this is how I begin most practices. And depending on where you are in your practice, you may want to go a little bit faster or a little bit slower, but I'll tell you that as I have personally developed in my yoga practice, I find that it takes me longer to get into the deeper parts of my body than it did when I first started. So take your time. And understanding the micro movements, the little adjustments that we do is really important. So take a few minutes to do this video. And then once you have this video down, then we can continue in the series and we'll move a little bit faster through this so that you have more time to spend opening up your hamstrings in the 3 sequences that I promise are going to be so good. So we're going to get started each day in downward dog. And the downward dog that I take is a shorter downward dog. So if you are doing a typical practice, you would probably do it somewhere more like this. I take a big step in, and my feet are wide as my mat, and my knees are well bent, and then I lift my tailbone up high so that I can pull the top of my head down. And if you're feeling that, if you're starting to move into this pose, you may notice the lengthening feeling in your spine. And you want to press your belly button back towards your spine. So your core is engaged here. This is not a light pose. You're still working. And if you have blocks or books, I highly recommend using them, especially in the beginning. So press down through your feet, pull your tailbone up towards the ceiling, and drop your head and your shoulders down. Now most of your weight is in your feet. Almost 100% of my weight is in my feet right now. And that's intentional because when you press down in your feet, when your weight is in your legs, then you're able to engage your muscles and use your muscles to lengthen and open through the backs of your legs. So we're going to press down through our left foot and just kind of shift your hips over to the right. So my right knee is well bent and my left leg is straight. And I'm leaning over to the right just to open up all through the inside of my leg. And then I'm going to shift my hips slightly to the left, and I'm going to get the outside of my left leg. I can feel that opening. And then I'm going to bend my left knee and straighten my right leg, and shift my hips over to the left, and open up the outside, or the inside of that right leg. And then shift your hips to the right, and open up the outside of your right leg. And then kind of drop your heels down, and with your knees soft, you kind of pull yourself back, maybe even walk yourself back. And this is where the blocks come in handy, because you can press down through both feet and open up through the backs of both legs. And take a breath in, and then exhale it out. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And then you can bend your knees and kind of come back to where we were. So your knees bent, pull your tailbone up, and just notice the difference. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, you can step forward, and we'll come into forward fold. And again, keep your feet wide as the mat. And just kind of drop your head, and your shoulders, and your neck all the way down. And I like to shift my hips from one side to the other. Again, one knee being bent and the other leg being straight. And just helps me open up the inside and the outside and the backs of the legs. Remember that this is the focus of our practice, is to get into our legs. So then come back to neutral. Take a breath in. And then exhale it out. And then you can bring your feet to hips width distance. Root down through both feet. And using the press of your feet, you can come up to standing. Inhale, reach your arms up high. And then just notice your feet. You're going to root down through your right foot and your right hip. And then reach from the top of your hip all the way through your fingertips. Inhale. Exhale. And we're stretching from the top of our hips all the way through your fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, and maybe press down with your foot and reach one more time. Big side stretch. And then come back to center and do the same thing on the other side. So root down through your left foot and your left hip. And then reach from the top of your left hip all the way through your fingertips. Inhale and exhale. And as you press down, you can reach a little bit farther and breathe in through your ribs. Inhale and exhale. One more breath in. Pull yourself open. And then exhale back to center. Now we're going to root down through both feet. And with our knees slightly bent, press down through your hips. And then open up and pull yourself back for a back bend. And you can interlace your thumbs here and use the press of your elbows back to open up through your front side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and then exhale back to center. And at the beginning of practice, I like to take a moment to find intention, to notice my feet pressing into the mat, kind of settle into my body and my practice. Just be quiet with yourself for a moment. And when you're ready, you can inhale, reach your arms up high, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come to halfway lift, and you can keep your feet at hips width distance. Bend your knees, pull your tailbone back, and pull the top of your head forward. So again, your spine is parallel with the floor, and you're strong in your core. Press your belly button back towards your spine. Inhale, then exhale, and just notice your feet here. So you're going to hear me talk a lot about your feet. See if you can lift your toes so that you notice the four corners of your feet pressing into the mat. And that might feel a little bit different than the step that you're used to, and that's okay. So press down through your feet, pull your tailbone back, pull the top of your head forward, and just feel that alignment. Feel that length in your spine. Feel the press of your feet. Feel the engagement of your thighs, and take a breath in. And then exhale, you can step back, high plank. And again, press down through one foot and float that hip up higher. And then press down through the other foot, straighten that leg and pull your hip up higher so that your belly button is pressing back towards your spine. And your spine is parallel with the floor. So notice that. So you're lifting your tailbone almost, and you're long from the bottom of your tailbone through the back of your head. Take a breath in. And exhale it out. And keep pressing your belly button back towards your spine. Inhale. And then exhale, press back. And take a mini step forward. Bend your knees, lift your tailbone, downward dog. And this is where we'll begin each practice. So in the future videos, you'll see me move a little bit faster through that sequence, but we'll do that sequence every day. And we do that because you take a moment to notice you should feel more open in the back of your legs. You should feel a little stronger in your core. You should feel your body awake and more available to work through this series. And that's what we need, especially when we're working on our hamstrings, because it requires you to get warm and to really use your muscles to find the length and the opening that you need to get access to more flexibility and to grow in your practice. So I can't wait to work with you, and I can't wait to start this series. Check the next video for sequence A, and let's get started. As always, namaste.